Assalamu alaikum dear students, welcome in second year computer science class. Today we are going to start chapter number 2, algorithm and flowcharts. Lecture number 4. This is Shahzad Bajwa. Our today's topic is algorithm and flowcharts. Let's start. Basically, in this chapter you will be studying the basic concepts of algorithm writing and representation of flowcharts, how we can implement our program in the form of algorithm, and how we can represent that program in also in flowchart. So actual term algorithm is often cited as originated from 19th century Persian mathematician Abu Abdullah Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. He is also known as the father of algebra. This is basically some history is given related to algorithm in this chapter. As we have discussed in our previous lecture, basic definition of algorithm is well-defined procedure that allows a computer to solve a problem. A step-by-step well-defined procedure that allows computer to solve a problem is called algorithm. So algorithm is the basic technique used in the job done. Let's follow an example for better understanding. Simple examples we can take from our daily routine life. For example, hiring a taxi. If you want to go from one place to another, there are some steps you have to follow, then we will be finished. For example, a taxi algorithm is given. First step, we also write in very simple English language, as we have discussed that algorithm is English based structure based concept, and we write this for better understanding. First step is go to the taxi stand, get in a taxi, step 2, and step 3 is give the driver my address. Simple. How to make a cup of tea? For example, I give you an example or question. Write an algorithm for how to make a cup of tea, how to make a biryani, how to make a simple program which will display this is my first program. How we can write an algorithm for this is class second year, and that was the result of previous class. How many grades are there, how many A grades, B grades, C grades, and how many are the failed students. So different examples we can take from our daily routine life. So this is basic concept of algorithm, to write your statement in a simple way for better understanding, or for those people who are not aware with computing languages, but before making a program, before code, you have to make a very easy procedure for better understanding. Example is given in your book. Find the grade of students by reading marks or by taking percentage. Here we are assuming some percentages. For example, 80% above is for grade A, between 60 to 80 is grade B, and 60 to 40 is grade C. And if students got marks below 40, then mark fail, means it means fail. How we can write a best algorithm for this example? Let's see. Step 1, start. Always whenever we start writing an algorithm, we definitely put first step as a start. Step 2, read marks or percentage. Now first we have to make a concept. What is problem? How we are going to resolve is what is input, what is output, how we can code, and what will be the final display of this program. So before making any kind of step, we have to think about what strategy we have to follow. In step by step well defined procedure will make a best algorithm for us. Right, first we have to start, then read marks for percentage or total marks, whatever you have mentioned. Step 3, similar these given example we will follow step by step, and we will put in proper arrangement, and finally we will see that algorithm is ready. Step 3, if marks greater than or equals to 80, then grade A. And go to step 7. Why step 7? In step 7 display grade is written. So if you will find the marks greater than or equals to 80, then definitely you have to write grade A. Then step 7 display grade, and then you will come back on step number 4. If marks greater than or equals to 60 and marks less than equals to 80, then grade B, and go to step 7. Again go to step 7. Why? We have to write the answer, what either it's greater than or less than. Then step 5, if marks greater than or equals to 40 and marks less than or equals to 60, then grade C. Then go to step 7. Again we are repeating same step again and again and writing our output in step 7 display grade. And if we found less than 40, then display grade means fail, and stop and exit. This is simple example of how we write an algorithm for any grade or mark sheet. Then we have another term, pseudocode. Basically pseudocode is a simple way of writing programming code in English. Pseudocode is not actual programming language. Basically pseudo means fake. We make a fake program or fake programming in concept. We just write a statement just like a program, but it is not an actual program. So it uses short phrases to write code for programs before you actually create it in specific language. Once you know what the program is about and how it will function, then you can use pseudocode to create statements to achieve required output results for your program. So this is basically, we don't follow strict rules like when we write statements in English. So just we use simple words, concise words, and according to the understanding of program and user, we must remember why we were using this word for which operation. So when you are ready, then you can convert your pseudocode for coding. And best example, for example, add two numbers together and display the result. We can also write algorithm for that. We are going to write pseudocode for that. Start program, enter two numbers A and B, add the numbers together, print sum, and program. Simple. We are not using any symbols, we are not using special symbols or indicators or using hard English. We are using simple English language to represent our concept, our problem, our solution, our code in a single English language term. So this is called pseudocode. Just like a program, but using simple English language statements. Then we have flowchart. Flowchart is simply a graphical representation of steps. It shows steps in sequential order, and it's widely used in presenting the flow of algorithm, flow of process. Simple when we are using different techniques to represent our data, then definitely we use algorithm, we are using pseudocode, we are also using flowcharts. So pictorial representation of our data is called flowchart, and different symbols we use to represent our data. Boxes, various kind of other shapes are there connecting with the arrows, and every symbol we use for different purposes. For example, start, end, input, output, process, instructions, decision, connector, arrows. Different symbols are there, but these particular symbols we only for particular operation. For input we have special symbol, for process we have special symbol, for decision we have a special symbol, and then for connecting arrows we have arrow direction. These can be right, left, up, down, and in any direction we can use arrows. And start and end we use same arrow, just we mention it's a starting point and it's a stop point. Example for flowchart. Same example I am taking as we were discussing for algorithm. Same example is there. We are finding grades less than, greater than, then percentage, grade A, B, C, and failed students. Similar we can represent this data with the help of flowchart. For example, start, read marks, check, it's a decision, then either marks less than or greater than equal 80 is, if equals to 80, then grade A. Then go to step 2 and check marks less than or equals to 80 or greater than equals to 80, greater than or equals to 60 and less than or equals to 80, then display grade B. Then marks greater than 40 and less than or equals to 60, display grade C. Either display fail, and stop. This is very simple methodology we are implementing in flowchart. So if I am not a computer literate person and I have to show my data to a user who is going to giving me a chance to make a software for this, so I can make a simple arrangement flowchart. So we have another example. Now I am combining algorithm and flowchart together. Write an algorithm and draw a flowchart to print 1 to 20 numbers, or how we can implement. For example, in algorithm, let's see step 1, initialize x equals to 0. So when we are using these kind of terms, in future you will implement in C language, then you will be understanding in better way. Always we start beginning point from 0. If value is not assigned, then assuming value or initialize value is 0, and we assume variables that can be any word like x, y, z, a, b, c, a to z, whatever we can assume. Normally we assume x, y, z, h, s, these type of words. So initialize x as 0. In same way, in flowchart you can see start step 1, initialize x less than or equals to 0, or then increment x by 1. Now x increment by 1, 0 plus 1 equals to 1, and print x, the x value is 1. Now check, there is a decision either x less than 20. If yes, then go to step 2 where increment x by 1. If no, it's equals to x equals to 20 or greater than to 20, then finish and exit. So now x value is 1, which is less than 20. It's true. We are going back to on step 2, which is incremented by 1. Now x 1 plus 1 equals to 2. So again print 2, then go to step 4. Now check x is less than 20, still x less than 20 because x value is 2. Now go to step 2, increment x by 1. Now 2 plus 1 equals to 3. So print 3, step 3, print x, then check again value, either x less than 20 or greater than 20, still x less than 20 because x value is 3. Now go to step again 2. It will continue until the value becomes equals to 20. Now x not less than 20 and or finished. This is simple way how we represent algorithm and flowchart. These things you will learn in your next upcoming chapters in detail, then you can understand in better way, but you have to understand how we make algorithm and how we convert same data in flowchart. Now types of flowcharts are there in your syllabus. There are 4 main types are given in your syllabus: sequential flowchart, branch or jump flowchart, loop flowchart, and nested loop in a flowchart. These terms we use to represent our data in flowchart form. How we can represent in sequential flowchart? This is the simplest type of flowchart involving no decision branches or loop. Simple. I will give you the examples, and there are so many examples in your book. Go through your book and you will see. For example, take a taxi. We have seen example of take a taxi. Just go to taxi stand, hire the taxi, give the address, and just move to your destination. There is no flowchart, there is no decision, and no other branches are there. This is simple flowchart. Branch or jump flowchart. Now with name we can assume there are in this tab one or more decision boxes are introduced. In action is taken depends upon the whether results or decision yes or no. Now branch or jump, definitely we give can take a result as there is a decision that can be yes or no. So this is also its examples also are in your book. You can go through it properly. And next we have loop flowchart. In loop flowchart we represent a procedure which may be repeated a definite or indefinite number of times. For example, in last slide we were checking an example, writing number 1 to 20. We were taking decision, we were checking it is yes or no, yes or no. We were repeating same procedure again and again. This is called loop. So nested loop, loop inside the loop is called nested loop. We can represent one loop and we can also add another loop within the loop. This is called nested loop. Difference between algorithm and flowchart is given. Mostly examiner may ask you write a difference between algorithm and flowchart. Let's see one by one. Algorithm, it's a procedure for solving problem. In algorithm we define our problem step by step in well defined procedure, so it's a procedure. Flowchart, it's a graphical representation of process. Each step we represent with the help of graphics. So this is main difference between flowchart and algorithm. The process is shown in step-by-step instructions, algorithm, and flowchart, the process is shown in block-by-block information diagram. Step-by-step information and information in the form of block and by block. It is complex and difficult to understand. Algorithm, mostly when you are working on big project, large scale project, then definitely your algorithm will become more complex and complex. But in flowchart, easy to understand. You can represent each step with help of diagram. That's make it easy to understand. It is difficult to debug the errors in algorithm. When you are writing a complete algorithm for a huge program, big program, then definitely it can goes in many pages, so it is difficult to understand and track the error. It is hard to debug error also. In flowchart, when you find an error, then definitely you have to follow one by one each diagram where you have taken a mistake. Means you can add less than instead of greater than, you can miss equal sign in less than or equal sign, equal great. So any kind of error can be hard to find. The solution is shown in natural language. We just code in write algorithm in natural language, but in flowchart we represent our data in pictorial format, in the graph format, and we also add so it is less cost, more cost than create algorithm. Algorithm are expensive and flowchart are the less expensive and less time taking. So if we compare both strategies, flowcharts are better than algorithm representation. So mostly programs we represent with diagram structure. That makes much easier. We have an assignment. There is assignment from your book. First one is write an algorithm and flowchart to convert temperature from Fahrenheit to Celsius. How you will write, examples are given in your book. Just go through it and then understand and write in your own words or with help of book. Write an algorithm and draw flowchart to determine whether a student passed the exam or not. Similarly, we were finding the percentage, so we can also find either the student is passed in exam or fail. Then third one, write an algorithm and flowchart for summing the first 30 integers. We were writing first 30 numbers. Now we have to sum the first 30 integers. This is also simple flowchart and algorithm you can write easily. But before go through your book, study properly and read previous chapter carefully, then you will know how you can write easily. This is also for 6 marks, 2 for each, and you have to submit on as given instructions on given time. So if you have any question, you may also ask. You can comment and write query. So again, I will suggest go through your recommended book, everything is there. You will find is much easier. Thank you, dear students.